Coming up right now on SUTV News, a Shippensburg professor takes to the airways. Find out who and why.
And SHIP students must graduate sometime. SUTV has the info on how to fine-tune your resume.
Get your news, your weekend forecast, and SU sports, including one of our own's appearance in the Super Bowl. SUTV News starts right now. Hello and thank you for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Kyle Rogers.
And I'm Casey Peel.
Well, the controversy over the university bookstore continued on Facebook following our interview with Shippensburg University Student Senate President Stephen Latanishin. Last week, Student Senate voted to pursue negotiations with an outside bookstore like Barnes & Noble. More than 100 people joined a Facebook group called Save the Ship Bookstore, but that group disappeared from the website. Last week, bookstore employees were eager to speak with SUTV News about their concerns. But this Tuesday, a bookstore representative contacted us to say that they were no longer interested in talking with us. Student Senate has responded to criticism through a flyer handed out to students saying the bookstore partnership is a beneficial move.
Enjoy some pancakes while helping Shippensburg students fight cancer. Saturday morning from 7:30 until 10:30, pick up some breakfast at the Fire Hall on Orange Street. Your $5 will go towards the Relay for Life campaign. SHIP student media will be among several teams at Relay for Life. On March 29th, students from SUTV, the Slate newspaper, WSYC-FM, PRSSA, and Super will join to help in the fight for life. If you're interested in joining or creating your own team, contact Colleges Against Cancer President Jimmy Thren at jt3006@ship.edu.
One of the hardest clubs on campus is at it again. The SHIP dance troupe will be performing at Memorial Auditorium 3 times this weekend. Tonight at 8, Friday night at 8, and Saturday afternoon at 2. The dance troupe has been around for nearly a half a century. Their performance this weekend will feature both dances from last semester's pep rally, everyone remembers that, and some new numbers. Directors Carrie Harn and Jessica Lewicki say the recital should appeal to all audiences.
Because we have a lot of alumni coming back to come watch our show, and they're going to participate, so it's going to be great.
Throughout the week, we're at practice Monday through Thursday. At the most, girls can be there from 6 to 11, and progressively towards the show, it gets even more hours.
Every year we improve, so it's great to come back and see the better ideas and to see the new choreography and dances that we offer everyone. It's really exciting because there's a lot of variety in dances, hip-hop, jazz, lyrical, so it's great for all sorts of audience types, basically.
Dance troupe will travel to Virginia in March and New Jersey in April to dance competitively. Good luck, girls. Now, for graduating seniors, the walk across the stage is less than 3 months away. It's hard to believe. SUTV's Casey Cunningham tells us what to do if you're not sure where you will be after graduation.
The 1,100 Shippensburg students that are graduating in May, finding a job is at the top of their list of things to do. The staff at the Career Development Center is dedicated to helping students with their resumes, cover letters, and perfecting their interviewing skills. The entire month of February is resume focused, with experts who can help refine your resume and give you the tips to succeed in a tough job market. Patty Gokenauer is the interim director at the Career Development Center, and she advises students to sell themselves through their resume.
They really need to take a really good hard look at themselves and think about what sells me to that employer.
Students who have used the resources at the Career Development Center are recommending the services to everyone.
I would say it's definitely a resource that I don't think a lot of people use, but I don't know why, but I think it's a great group of people that are willing to literally help you get a job.
And for graduating seniors who aren't sure of a career choice, Patty has one key piece of advice.
We have seniors come in that are still trying to figure out what they want to do with their major, and that's okay. It's better late than never is what I always say.
Even though the Cub is still being renovated, the Career Development Center is open for business on the 2nd floor. For SUTV News, I'm Casey Cunningham.
Thanks, Casey. The next Career Center workshop called Refining Your Resume is on February 8th.
Still ahead on SUTV News, Howard Cassell and Shippensburg have a connection. Find out what it is.
And meet Bama. He may be the most playful student at SHIP. More about him when we come back. Oh, look at him.
The Cub and Heber Arts Center aren't the only places getting a makeover. This April, construction begins to replace the 8 residence halls on campus. A 5-year project, the new dorms will have wireless internet, air conditioning, and more bathrooms. So for anyone looking to join the Ship family, it seems like now's the time.
Well, he's a student in Shippensburg. He does not pay tuition, but he comes to class promptly and will make a big difference in somebody's life. And the kicker, he has 4 legs. You could say he's not your traditional student.
He is the cutest student.
Meet Bama, an 8-week-old German Shepherd.
He is the teacher's pet.
Bama is studying in the Seeing Eye program under the supervision of Shippensburg University professor Andrea
Well,
Malmont.
the Seeing Eye program is one that a volunteer from the 4-H. It can be children from 9 years old to 19 years old, or adult puppy raisers like myself, volunteer to raise a Seeing Eye puppy.
Over the next 18 weeks, Andrea will work with Bama to get him ready for training to become a Seeing Eye
He's supposed to go
dog.
forward, so he's supposed to have a little bit of a pull on the leash when we go walking forward, but I'm just going in circles. And then Bama sit.
Since 2009, Andrea trained 3 Seeing Eye dogs.
The socialization is really the big part in getting them desensitized to people and human contact, and also making sure that the student, little Bama here, is able to take on the different things that do happen in the society.
For Andrea's dogs, wearing the green scarf means they are learning to lead others. But for some of Andrea's 2-legged students, the dogs can help with the healing process.
A perfect example is I had a student, it was really sad, a graduate student who had lost her daughter just weeks before in a motorcycle accident. And it was completely a difficult time. She absolutely wanted to get through the program, so she took my research course, and without that dog, I don't know if she would have made it.
Shippensburg is not the final stop for Bama. He's going to get some more training and then become the eyes for someone new in Morristown, New Jersey.
The investment in these dogs, you don't want to ruin them. I mean, by the time he's finished with his training, he is a $58,000 investment, and the blind person only has to pay $150 to get that dog and also be sent to New Jersey to train with their dog.
You have to admit he's cute, but when you see Bama on campus or any Seeing Eye dog, it is important to ask the owner if you can pet him.
It's true that you shouldn't just interfere. I mean, it would be like me you're driving and I take your steering wheel from you all of a sudden. I don't think you would appreciate me grabbing it and starting to steer it.
But the difference little Bama can make is priceless.
I think it's just so awesome to know that, not only do these dogs provide freedom for a blind person, but they provide a whole bunch of love for other people too.
And coming up in a few minutes, you can meet Bama. He's in studio with us alongside his owner, Andrea, for ways in which you can help support Bama and future Seeing Eye dog projects here on campus. Oh, excuse me. Professor Allison Tagnis was featured in the media once again. This time, she was a guest on Radio Smart Talk on WITF-FM in Harrisburg. She spoke on the media and how cable news programs juggle between journalism and financially motivated pieces.
And what the Today Show specifically did that led the pack was begin their programming in the morning with a half an hour of news. And that was a little bit different. So you actually can get some news from the Today Show, particularly early on.
Shippensburg history professor John Bloom has recently published There You Have It, The Life, Legacy, and Legend of Howard Cosell. Barbara Shindo is more with Dr. Bloom.
John Lennon, outside of his apartment building on the west side of New York City, the most famous perhaps of all of the Beatles, shot twice in the back, rushed to Roosevelt Hospital.
He was a huge figure, when I was a kid growing up in the 1970s. So you think about maybe the 3 or 4 most well-known television personalities. He was really one of them, more than even just a sportscaster.
Dr. Bloom spent plenty of time researching Howard Cosell. One of the interesting things he learned about him was he was hesitant to break the news of John Lennon's death.
Is on the line, and I don't care what's on the line, Howard. You have got to say what we know in the booth.
Yes, we have to say it. Remember,
a conversation between himself and Frank Gifford as the news was coming in that John Lennon was killed. And he says, I don't think we should do this. This is the middle of a football game. It doesn't seem an appropriate thing to do. And Gifford's the one who says to him, no, you need to be the one to break the news. So
Chip students already know their professors are busy. So where did he find the time for this project?
Most of us who are faculty members at Shippensburg, we really only write or do research over the summer. unless we have a sabbatical, which I haven't had yet. So it took me altogether 6 years.
This is Barbara Shindo, SUTV News.
Now that sounds like a great read for sports fans. You can get a copy signed by Dr. Bloom on February 12th at the Midtown Scholar Bookstore, located on 3rd Street in Harrisburg. The signing will be from 2 to 4.
And Casey, Dr. Bloom isn't the only recently published Shippensburg professor. Dr. Sella of the English department will read from his new book next Thursday at Old Main Chapel. Be there at 7 to hear excerpts from Badland pastoralism and Great Plains fiction. Dr. Sella will stick around afterwards to sign your copy. Next on SUTV News, find out how you can help fight heart disease.
And what does the weather look like this weekend? Barbara Shindo has your forecast.
Before we head to break, the editor-in-chief of the Slate has a preview of what's in the next issue. Take a look.
Hello, I'm Carissa Llewellyn, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the Slate. And this week we have articles on the conflict in Egypt, an update on construction and how to drive in the snow, and a story about the crowded rec center. So make sure you check out this week's issue of the Slate coming out on Tuesday.